Hello. Well, I shall be talking today about the rest of the subject of the cat poison chewed in Yemen. The cat as an international problem. Cat was first discussed internationally in the League of Nations Committee on Narcotics in 1935-36 and in 1956 in the Arab League Committee on Narcotics, when it was referred back for further discussion when sufficient details might be available to pervade a final decision. The United Nations Committee on Narcotics has also called for different samples, especially from the Yemen. But because of lack of cooperation, not enough samples could be obtained for satisfactory analysis. At last, however, a field study has been made by Professor Alice at the University of California. The Arab League Committee again discussed the problem in 1958, where the Yemeni representative said that this country would ban the cultivation of cat if it could be proved that it was a narcotic and would lead to addiction. Cat was in fact banned in Yemen in July 1972. Temporary, of course. He said his country would welcome experts coming to make studies among the population. This was in contrast to the Yemeni government's previous attitude, which had been that what analysis had been done had been inclusive, and that cat, far from causing addiction, was no more dangerous than coffee, cigarettes, tobacco, or tea. In its 1958 session, the Arab League Committee on Narcotics declared cat to be a narcotic and blacklisted it. But at the same time, a warning was given that a sudden withdrawal of cat might lead to the use of such substitutes as hashish, afyon, heroin, or alcohol. Well, I'm going to put my personal experience. I have chewed cat many times, on many occasions, with different people in different places, and using various types of leaf. To begin with, I used to swallow the chewed leaves because I couldn't keep them in my mouth. My sensations varied according to the type of leaf and the atmosphere of the room. The sensations were worst if the room was crowded and very smoky. I would feel very happy and would imagine all sorts of projects, some quite impracticable, but when the effects waned, so did the urge to carry out the imagined project. I also used to experience a feeling of sadness, so much so that I would weep at a memory of a close friend. I noticed that my jaw would continue to move automatically for several hours after taking cat. One of my friends noticed me staring vacantly while talking with him in the street a few minutes after leaving a cat ceremony. At night I had no appetite for food, nor any sexual activity, even if the atmosphere was romantic. I had pain in all my bones and joints, with headache, dry mouth, and dry cough, especially if I had tried to smoke in the cat ceremony. I would also feel very disinclined to get to work. I used to find that unless I drank a glass of milk before going to bed, I would suffer from constipation with abdominal distension and discomfort. Probably the milk neutralizes the effect of the tannin. However, although these symptoms would persist for up to 3 days, my ability to study books remained unimpaired. The place of cat in Yemeni social life. Cat is presented at a variety of social occasions and celebrations. At a party, it is given to the singers and musicians who perform for us. It is also given to guests at weddings and functions connected with business, birth, and death. Conclusion. We can gradually withdraw this noxious plant by simultaneously increasing fruit and vegetable cultivation and reducing cat cultivation, especially on government-controlled land. Some strictly controlled cultivation might be allowed to obtain extracts of the medicinally valuable constituents of the plant. If this proved to be occasionally worthwhile, perhaps with aid from other countries, it would be necessary to provide more work for the population and more hospitals and schools to encourage health education with the cooperation of doctors, nurses, and teachers. Health education could also be spread through the mosques and radio service. The tax on cat could be used to provide these facilities at first, but later on it could be increased to a degree which would discourage the widespread use of cat. We would encourage coffee cultivation, for Yemeni coffee is very good, and we should challenge the supremacy of coffee from other parts of the world. The people of Yemen are very intelligent and capable of greatly developing their country in a very short time, but they need good advice and sound leadership. The Yemen is a fine country. The west has the coast and the tropical zone. The center has high mountains and beautiful valleys, while in the east lies the desert with its own mysterious charm and fascination. Tourists must be encouraged to come and visit this land, its oriental people and ancient cities. Well, I'm going to mention here the references I have used for writing my book. Potter's Cyclopedia of Botanical Drugs and Preparations, edited R.C. Wren. The British Medical Journal, 1951, Volume 2, page 852 and 1522. The British Medical Journal, 1952, Volume 1, page 222. 3. Medical Aspects of the Habitual Chewing of Cat Leaves, World Health Organization, APD 127, Revision 1811964. That is edited on the 8th of January 1964. Number 4, a preliminary study on cat, Catha edulis forsical, together with the history of the institution of coffee as a beverage in relation to cat, by Dr. Tijani Al-Mahi, Regional Mental Health Advisor. 5. La Clinica Therapeutica Estratodal, Volume 43, Phase 2, page 103, pages 103 and 172, 31st of October 1967, by M. Manciolini and Baranello, Manciolini and Baranello. Number 6, The Yemen from the Back Door, page 99, by Hans Hewerts. Number 7, Al-Muqtataf by Al-Qadi Abdullah Abdul Karim Al-Gorafi. Number 8, Al-Sayasa, Arab League 12/5. Report of the Arab League Committee on Narcotics 12C on C. Number CA on M, Abstroph HK on 8, page 23. Number 10, The Cat and Yemen by Muhammad Ayub, series of Iqra, June 1964, page 246. Number 11, The Crescent Magazine, July 1959, page 7. Poems and political articles by Ismail El-gorafi and Muhammad Hussein Al-Araji. Number 13, The Medical and Poisonous Plants, South Africa, University of Reading, England. Number 14, The East African Agricultural Journal, October 1947, page 98 to 102. Article by P.G.A. Greenway. Systemic Botanist, EAA, Research Institute, Amani. 15, Cafe Arabica by Lena de la Roquevoy, Arab, 1708 to 10, etc., page 363 to 366. Number 16, The East African Medical Journal, January 1945, page 7 to 10, volume XX22, that is 22, number 1, page 1 to 3. 17, An Anatomical Study of Ethiopian Cat, Leave of Cat Aedulis versicali by Paririk Shadan and E.J. Shalab. Number 18, Journal of Medical and Pharmacological Chemistry, volume number 3, and number 2, 1961. Chemical Pharmacology of Cat Aedulis by Gordon A. Alice, D. David Fairchild, and Mark Jensen. Extra Pharmacopoeia, page 1513. And lastly, the systemic diseases on the eye. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to try to make a round with my camera on the Sana'a province to show the people who are watching this program how is the nature of cat and how does the people manage and how do they do this cat ceremony. Thank you very much. The central market for cat selling and buying is the area called Madbah. This is one of the shops, and as you can see there are many cars coming for people to purchase this plant. See, this is some amount in the back of that man. As you can see, it is kind of a wholesale market from outside and from inside to the people. That one is very lucky and very happy having his cat in his armpit, thinking where to go today. He's showing us. He's very happy with having his cat in him.